Now that I calm down, now that we actually now we're at the zero at the time, it's good to come out today. I probably forget the money we got for that, man. Yeah, you kind of game I'm looking forward to coming out of October. Let me tell you, this actually I did first with very limited asking right over and do what are questions. More than do the core but also the Robin gameplay. So yeah, to the Robin. So yes, be fun. Hey, get me on touch my and Gotham Night Bay, a brand new Gotham City. Yep. That's it, they're going at it again. Yay! Yep. Then we try ancient new, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to Gotham Night video game Halloween. More because, well, I'm back in officer with my family. And 2 more words and do it. And for a lot of people, if we got so far, they're actually pretty cool for engine. So, yeah, it should be fun. Again, what do I mean by that? Well, you'll find out. So, I get my body, ancient news. Yep. So, enjoy the show. See ya. As you can tell my intro, you can tell my intro about this news. Why? You'll find out. What's the story? No, I do reaction like these. Yeah, I'm not fanny reaction, but you know what? Fuck it. I better get to it. I'll go for a man. Yep. So what's good process? Yep.
One day be called Gotham River. Those families, the Waynes, the Cobb. 1650s, 5 families left Europe, eventually landing on the rain-swept islands that pepper the mouth of what would one day be called Gotham River. Those families, the Waynes, the Cobblepots, the Elliots, the Arkhams, and the Canes, would build a colonial fort together and sow the seeds of centuries of dominance in the area. Gotham City was born. The city quickly spread beyond its original bounds, developing 5 boroughs, and in each, one of those 5 founding families would take root. In the early days, the Canes established themselves on Gotham's natural harbour, now known as Historic Gotham, tying the family to their new country's military might, building ships and weapons of war. By the 1850s, Gotham had become a major trade hub, helped along by the industrialist Cobblepots and their smoke-belching Southside steel mills. Gotham continued to transform over time. In the 1920s, the Elliots took hold of the 20th century's newest means of control, mass media, and built downtown Gotham in a new Art Deco image. By the 1960s, Gotham had truly become a patchwork of industry and architecture. The Arkhams settled in North Gotham, building their famous asylum. Yes, it's in the game, and no, it's not as you've previously seen it. The Waynes, meanwhile, built their billions in New Gotham, helping advance the town into a new technological age, which brings us to the present day, and the Gotham you'll be exploring as Batman's protégés in Gotham Knights, an open world as soaked in history as it is by neon light and vigilante-friendly shadow. Warner Brothers Games Montreal created history early in production, a whole new timeline for a whole new version of Gotham City, and it...
And can I say, I go to Gotham, it's actually so cool.
Created that history early in production, a whole new timeline for a whole new version of Gotham City. And it isn't merely window dressing. The timeline informs everything from the plot to the gameplay to the game's biggest mystery, the Court of Owls conspiracy. The team didn't just build an open world to play in. It's truly trying to build a city.
That's pretty coul. Yeah, for the variance in my opinion.
At Universal Orlando, we're testing the limits of vacation thrills.
Stupid ad. Yeah, one I don't want, I think these stupid advertising bullshit. Ugh. These better not gonna be comic and bullshit, I swear to God. Yeah, they're the one I was talking about, like the maps. Yeah. Okay, like I said, this game open world game. We have Final District, we have Blackgate Island, Old Gotham. And all these missions. Yeah, I see the penguin. Yep. That's the thing I talk about the open world stuff, and I'm really intrigued by this, so it's pretty cool.
Key to this take on Gotham are those 5 boroughs and the worldview of the families that historically...
Yeah, I think they want that penguin. I don't know who these people are. I think they want Anarchy. I can't tell. Yeah, so that's a map. That's pretty cool.
So for us, the 5 boroughs, it started with the families. The families moved there, they built imposing structures within those districts. So then we build around that to where the identity for those districts really is based off of that family.
Within those boroughs, the team tries to tell stories without simply having someone speak them out loud.
If you visit a city in real life, it's hard to tell some of that history. So
that's pretty cool.
We're making a game, really what we want to do.
I've seen Robin. Yeah, it's a Drake.
Some of that stuff. So there's a lot of areas that are kind of stuck in time, like even something as, kind of generic as construction. Like
Probably it might be behind the screen.
Haunted
Sorry.
construction, or it's now abandoned and overgrown, or it's ruins. You know, all those things are more interesting for the player than just a modern city. So we tried to have a lot of those areas where it's almost stuck in time, so the player can really experience what it was back then a little bit too.
That's cool.
The city evolved.
The team has historical and gameplay basis for every new environment. Take the Cauldron, built into the Cobblepot's lower Gotham area.
We always would like to tell a story with every borough, and there's one specific one that is not necessarily related to the family, but is an effect of some of the projects that those families undertook, which was a mining operation that happened in a riverbed. So they decided to wall off two sides of a portion in the
Probably I'm not telling them this much, but I do love the gameplay.
It would attract workers for the mining operation. It was low-cost housing. It remained
That's cool.
actually a slum.
The Cauldron's history is written into its walls, with tumble-down buildings and cramped,
Are you?
unplanned
I've seen
streets
Tinder
set in
Goblin.
the shadow of the more prosperous districts around it. All of this is a distinct gameplay.
Interesting.
This spot is kind of like a transition area between the financial district and the south side. So we have like two very different themes, while being in a third theme that is very organic, has a completely different way for the player to navigate over. It's a lot more parkouring. So the player always has the choice to pick the best tool and the best navigation work to be as efficient as possible. And with different neighborhoods that will give you different experiences.
At Universal Orlando,
Fucking ads.
History and gameplay can be seen across the city. The once beautiful Robinson Park is a symbol of the city's decay, but it's also an open space where your usual stealth
Apparently you also have a timer with the water. I know that. That makes sense. And you know what? I miss gliding, but that makes sense.
tactics may no longer work in the same way. The enormous Elliott Center is a literally gilded reminder of the family patriarch, complete with a museum exhibit about the family inside. And it's also a complex, multi-layered bit of vertical level design, built to house the Mr.
Oh yeah, I meant the Fleet Boss battle from 2020. I think it's from 2020? Yeah, that's from 2020, from D Phantom. I remember that. Again, I'm apologetic if apologizing this much, I don't want to cover it, but that's pretty cool.
Freeze boss battle later in the game. And it's not just that timeline that acts as history here either. While this is a new take on Gotham, it includes many references to the comic books it's drawing from. Of course,
Ooh.
there are buildings you'll know, right down to deep-cut references like Noonan's Sleazy Bar from Garth Ennis' Hitman series, but the very
Wait, what?
Sleazy Bar from
That's from Garth Ennis? Really? Huh. I never liked Garth Ennis' Hitman series because, well, I'm not a Garth Ennis fan, and his take on comics is, well, edgy, but then again, to be fair, Garth Ennis are superheroes, so yeah, that's why I wanted to go Hitman. That makes sense. He still expects Superman, pretty cool. Yep.
from Garth Ennis' Hitman series, but the very fabric of Gotham itself.
Oh, Wayne Manor.
Does
Wait,
it
that's not Wayne Manor.
places.
That's the
Perhaps
courthouse.
most interesting is that this
Anyway.
Gotham has a public history and a secret history. We already know the game will center on the Court of Owls, a shadowy, manipulative group born of the founding families. Gotham itself will reflect that conspiratorial past too.
One of the things that we love about the Court of Owls, aside from the fact that it's a new, fresh addition to the Batman canon, is that they represent a threat that is so embedded, so intrinsic to Gotham City, that even Batman doesn't know about it. And the notion of a threat that is so intimately tied to a city that he considers to be his city, that he knows like the back of his hand, that he's been patrolling for literally decades at this point, that's a very intimidating and scary idea. With that in mind, what we knew is that we needed to give you a sense of Gotham's history in order
Seeing what
to
sounds-
show all the ways in which the court is embedded in that. That feeling that Gotham is kind of an adversary, and that Court of Owls is the embodiment of that, personification of it.
The phrase commonly used at the studio for this is that they didn't just build up, create.
Yeah, like I said, it's very open and I think that's one of the costumes for Robin. I know it. Again, I'm sorry I'm partying it, but I just need to look at the videos. It's like so beautiful. Like, look at this.
Visible
That looks so cool, so beautiful.
For every new district. but they also build down.
We started to imagine how the
Ooh.
city could be affected by that. And it started kind of
Ooh,
suggesting
interesting.
geography and urban geography to the city going
Bravo.
all the way back to like the late 1600s. And then we started to think, okay, well, what were the major events in history that they would have reacted to? You know, is it the Revolutionary War? Is it the kind of exploitation of the West, like building the railroads? Like all of these ideas became part of that conversation and allowed us to kind of build layers of accreted history. And we built it up and we built it down. Like we said, okay, what's buried under the city? Like what are the hidden secrets that you can find in the course of investigating the Court of Owls?
Naturally, the team isn't talking too much about what those buried secrets might be, but we see
That makes sense because they want to see for the game.
hints of it as we're shown Gotham's open world. A seemingly nondescript building might be a gang hideout, which leads to a tunnel system that brings you into an exit into Gotham that you would never have guessed at, for example.
We want the Court of Owls to feel like they're involved in everything. If you were to go to a major city in North America, like often they'll build a city on top of another one. Like Chicago, like they had the fire, they just built on top of it because it's not worth like rebuilding, destroying and rebuilding. So what the undergrounds allow us to do is kind of reveal that cross section of the city. So we have areas like that where you drop in, you keep going, and you see things that you didn't know were there, that you didn't know the city was built on top of. And I think that's a really cool element to try to allow the player to see kind of behind the scenes of the city, go under the surface, and as well as seeing it from up high from the bigger landmarks.
The result of all this work is that this take on
Wait. I saw something
That's a
with
really
Seth.
cool element to try to allow the player to see kind of behind the scenes of the city, go under.
Who is that?
Kind of behind the scenes of the city.
Who is that guy?
Allow the player to see kind of behind the scenes of the city.
Who is that? That's not Batman. Is it? No, it can't be. Is that Penguin? I guess that's Penguin. I want to know who that is. I must know. Who is it? Who is this guy? I must know. Yeah, we're not gonna get into this movie. Yeah, well.
Go under the surface and, as well as seeing it from up high from the bigger landmarks.
The result of all this work is that this take on Gotham aims to feel like a legitimate place,
That
not
makes
just a
sense.
sandbox for spandex crime fighting. We've heard before that this will be the largest Gotham ever made in game form, but that's not what the developers are proud of.
We made a very big Gotham City, but what I think is really unique to Gotham Knights is the density. Sometimes I will be searching for something or fighting a crime and not realize how close to me something.
Yeah, that's the map. Look like it's a what the one where we see Gotham City factions, case, email. Yeah, guys playing PS4. That's pretty cool. Again, I'm sorry I'm partying a lot. Yeah. Case files, map, challenges, gear, ability, database, email. Okay. So that's the info. I think I'm looking for tomorrow. I'm wondering about that stuff. So it's kind of Arkham City. That makes sense because these people did do Arkham Origins. A very underrated game, but it's super underrated. That's cool. Yep. Again, I'm sorry I'm partying a lot. Faction plans. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to know about each faction, but in other to collectible, to see crime activity. So again, kind of Arkham Knight.
There's just such
Westall, bring you fast travel.
nooks and crannies to explore.
Didn't you fast travel?
Inside. There's just
Yeah, you can fast travel. So like Arkham Origins, you can fast travel. That's cool.
such a depth of nooks and crannies to explore inside our city, and I think that's really unique to Gotham.
The idea of a Gotham packed with references, miniature histories, and sinister mysteries is alluring. After all, this is the promise of a town with real backstory, that it's not just the people living there who help tell the story, but the city itself. Gotham has been many things to many people. It's appeared in comics, movies, and gaming worlds. It's been
Who's the Batman?
repeatedly, traveling through time with us from block color 40s issues of Detective Comics to the grey monoliths of Christopher Nolan's trilogy. But all of those versions of Gotham have been snapshots of a city in its current form. Perhaps the most interesting thing about Gotham Knights version is that you won't just see the city as it is, but hopefully learn what it's been. See what we've already done. We have
Yep.
6
And that's the end of the video and that's the end of the trailer. So, but yeah, so we got one for this thing. It looks pretty cool. I can't wait to play it when it comes out. We should tell me that. Yep, that's the trailer. So, oh no. My father, as you well know, I'm looking for the Gotham Knight Halloween. Mostly because I'm looking for this game with bad on ton of fun and obviously fun Batman. Yes, I still maintain a super game. Yes, a super game can work down with a super game. That being said, though, going for the argument first, in my opinion, it looks like it's pretty good. And I'm looking forward to this game now. Now, look, this game may not be like Arkham. Of course not going to be Arkham. To develop it all together. Rocksteady will be doing the Jerry vs. Suicide Squad game, which that could go all the way, to tell you the truth. But despite that setback in general, I think I'm looking forward to this game. And generally, when we got from this thing, they're just pretty cool.
Are more interesting for the player than just a modern city. So
I love them talking about the history of Gotham. That's the thing I'm into the most, pretty cool. I love the timeline that they gave actually to this new Gotham City. But I love the Gotham gameplay. In fact, full disclosure, the long game I one that I was looking forward the most. All the rest of my secondary, and I do look forward to the game. One thing I did know is that with the watch tower a bit, not watch tower is the teleporting. So apparently you have a time limit for teleporting, which makes sense because well, teleporting my main technology is teleporting technology non-existent, at least not yet anyway. But it makes sense to do kind of over to teleporting. Granted, I don't know if I'm gliding and teleporting, but that's me. I'm not the big fan of the clubhouse. Look, the clubhouse is not a cool villain, but to tell you the truth, after Robin Roy, the clubhouse went to a complete joke. Which, again, it's not the fault in general of any idea of well, obviously it's not the fault of these guys. No, it's more for DC Comics themselves because after Robin Roy was a terrible story. This book is trash, one of the worst books in DCU. And this book also maybe attempting to go out into a big thing with all a bad idea. They were a one-time thing, but then they went to shit in the comics. Again, that's not the fault of W. Montreal. No, that's the fault of these themselves and hack right on the fuck they're doing. But I don't think they're gonna do it like that. No, they're not gonna be that stupid. They're not gonna try to get a call by Robin War. That'd be a stupid idea. Why point some sense? Point them, the core about all cool bad guys. But when they execute away and don't mess it up, we'll see. Now, after having that camera thing, we're on with them. I'm looking forward to open world. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to all this camera thing. And then getting by the trailer so far, that's pretty cool. Overall, this was great. This was fun. I can't wait since the game comes out. But until then, was that. Well, that's all. I do like him with the free boss fight from the way in the game. That's pretty cool. Yep. But I don't know. This game was pretty cool. And I can't wait till it turns out. Oh well, this game was amazing. Come to we'll see. That was all. I think that's about it. Although that's my reaction to Gotham Knights being a brand new Gotham City and my reaction to Gotham gameplay. Kind of, sort of. Pretty comment number 2 coming into news. Do you like it? Do it. Also, I can put it on Twitter. Please comment channel. Find Twitter thought. Tweet it about kind of some story. You can. I'll talk to you on game. Gotham Knight. See ya. Bye, Gotham Knight. Bye.